In a little less than 24 hours, we are going to see the crypto summit at the White House begin, one of the biggest events that crypto has ever seen before, featuring some of the most important people in the space. Now, although this is a major event, I do believe a lot of people are looking at it through the wrong lens. And I think it's going to cost people a lot of money, and I'm here to try to stop that. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tyler Hill. I am one of the co-founders of the Crypto Strategy School, one of the biggest schools in crypto, and I do post here on YouTube every single day, keeping you updated on all things crypto related. And today we're going to take a deep dive into what this event is, why I think it's important, why people are looking at it wrong, and what you need to be on the lookout for over the next day or so. And so with that said, look, we had a good bit to unpack today, so let's get into it. And guys, don't forget, if you are an experienced trader only, head to the link down in the description below and go get that 10% bonus on all first time deposits. Guys, this is tens of thousands of dollars per user in possible bonuses on a very, very good platform. Very easy to use. So feel free to go check that out down below if that is something that's interesting to you. Now, moving a little bit along, as I mentioned before, tomorrow we are going to see the biggest event that we've seen probably in the last, this is one of the biggest events of the year. And this is going to feature people like obviously Donald Trump and David Sachs. This also includes Brad from Ripple. This includes Paolo from Tether, Kathy Wood from ARK, Nat from Ondo, Anatoly, Vitalik, Mark, Paul Atkins, Brian Armstrong, CZ. I mean, an absolute powerhouse of people. Now, as a result of this major event, a lot of people are getting real excited, right? A lot of people are getting real excited. People are under the belief that this is going to bring a ton of big news that is going to bring back the pump, that we are going to see crypto flying, Bitcoin's going to $130,000, all altcoins are going up hundreds of percentages because this is the moment. If you look at something, you just head to CoinMarketCap, you can see this happening. XRP up 7%, Solana up 5%, Dogecoin up 3%. We're seeing a lot of movement from some of these US-based cryptos, and that's even more reflected here over on Crypto Bubbles. Matter of fact, if we actually head to the liquidation map, you can see just how much leverage has entered the market. Over $5.5 billion now in liquidations to the downside, meaning people are starting to bet big that this market's about to start pumping. Now, although I do agree that this is a very bullish event that's happening, I think it's a good event that's happening. I think the level of optimism and the things that people are doing as a result of what they are expecting tomorrow is setting up the crypto market for failure. Now, what do I mean by that? What I want you to do is I want you to think back just in the last 2 months. The Santa Claus rally, the Trump pump, the inauguration, the big speech, the Bitcoin strategic reserve, the investment announcement. All of these things that everyone built up to be this massive event that was going to be the moment where the crypto market's back and everything starts flying ended up being flops. I mean, call it what you want, but they've been flops. It's because everyone's betting on that. There's a thing called buy the rumor, sell the news, and I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but that's exactly what just keeps happening. Because everyone expects that every single small thing that happens in crypto is going to be what causes a big green candle. And the reason this is happening is because people are becoming impatient and they're becoming desperate. They're grasping for anything that might just bring that bag back to green, that might just get their portfolio back positive. And it's causing the market to not do it. I've told you a million times, I'm under the belief that this crypto market is manipulated, and I think that people are going to keep setting themselves up for failure. Did you ever watch SpongeBob when you were a kid? Just to give you an example. And you remember that old man who kept doing the same thing over and over again, and they're just like, how many times do I got to teach you this lesson, old man? Like, that's kind of where we are right now. I think the crypto markets, to some degree, just kind of makes fun of you at this point. Like, well, you keep thinking this market's going to freaking green candle send. It's not going to. Now, am I saying that something tomorrow couldn't happen that can absolutely send this market absolutely parabolic? No, of course it could happen. Trump might announce that they're going to start buying crypto today. Is he probably not? But no, you get the point, right? They might say there's no capital gains taxes on crypto. That might pump crypto. You never know. But what I do know is that every single time everyone builds it up in their minds that, oh, this is the moment that crypto is going to take off, so I need to buy, they end up losing. And so the mistake everyone's making is preparing for tomorrow to be this major event where everything's going to fly, when the reality is no one knows if it is or if it isn't. And while everyone is thinking about it from this perspective, they're missing the big picture, guys. They're missing the big picture. There's a much bigger picture when it comes to this crypto summit. Let's talk about why it really matters. The first one, This is one of the very first moments where we see true unification of the leaders in the space. Whenever you put people in the same room, like Vitalik Buterin, Anatoly, Charles Hoskin, Paolo, and Michael Saylor, all in the same room at the same time, it is something that you need to pay attention to. Because the crypto market is very tribal. It's sadly very us versus them, ETH versus Solana, and you see it all the time. And I've told you all that I'm under the belief that this is actually limiting crypto. This is pulling crypto back. The mass adoption that we're trying to accomplish is not being accomplished as fast as it could because we are so tribal. And by Trump doing this and unifying all these leaders in one place, it takes the steps in the right direction for this to be a more coordinated joint effort to accomplishing the big picture, which is getting crypto in the hands of everyone. And this is a good step in the right direction. That's a massive thing that people are overlooking. The next thing that people are missing out is just the regulatory clarity. Now, before I talk about the regulatory clarity, I do want to let you know, if you are brand new to this space, head to the link down below and go download the free beginner's guide that goes over how to start investing, what investing in crypto even means, technical analysis, indicators, and much more. And if you are a little bit more experienced, there's also a Beyond the Basics guide available for you down there right now that goes over more indicators, more technical analysis, leverage trading, and things a little bit more complicated and sophisticated. So head to the link down below, go download your 2 free guides from me, and I'll send them to you just sometime today. So go check that out. The links are down below. Now, going back to regulatory clarity, what is this and why is it so important? One of the things that's limited crypto over the last couple years is that there's no regulatory clarity. People don't understand what the laws are, what is actually allowed and what's not allowed. That's mostly been because the weasel rat Gary Gensler made it very unclear for his own benefit. But for the most part, that's been the case. And this has limited the overall growth that crypto could possibly see because, quite frankly, no one really wants to take on crypto, especially if they're from the United States, if they don't know if they're going to get a Wells notice or not. And what we're seeing is that tomorrow, guess who's going to be there? Paul Atkins, SEC chair. And so I believe this is another step in the right direction that's going to allow some of these major founders and CEOs to start propagating the real information of what is and is not allowed and opening people's minds up to what they can and cannot do. And that opens the door for real innovative growth here, especially in the United States. The next one, there's a proof of intention to push US-based cryptos. As many of you know, we have all been kind of on this gravy train of saying that the US narrative is the narrative, right? You need to buy these US based cryptos. And that's been speculation at best. But now it's starting to really come to reality. You start to notice things like Trump implementing tariffs, him wanting to drive more innovation to the United States, him starting to bring in some of these different cryptos, the majority of them being US-based cryptos, into the crypto strategic reserve. It goes to show that they actually have the intention to drive growth to US-based cryptos. And it would be nonsensical, in my opinion, to not at least pay attention to US-based cryptos as a narrative as a whole, because this just went from speculation to very, very strongly proven. And I think it's important now, again, that now that this is happening, to really focus in, whether that's buy or don't buy some of these US-based cryptos, and you're thinking things like Ondo and XLM or whatever it may be, right? That's what I think this means as well, a much bigger picture perspective. Now, whenever it comes to the government, another thing that you need to consider is governmental clarity. Another thing that's held the market back an absolute ton is the fact that the United States government does not understand crypto. They might seem like they do. Some people in the government might, but the government as a whole doesn't understand it. And I believe by unifying it and starting to bring in some of these people, for Trump and the government to hear these words coming out of the mouths of Kathy Woods and Charles and Paolo and Michael Saylor themselves, it's going to open up the door of opportunity for these people to tell the government a little bit more and educate them and bring more clarity. And you never know what that clarity can lead to. Maybe these major players start to really get it. Maybe they start to really understand it. Maybe they just get motivated and excited by this summit and they actually start pushing this thing even further in the right direction. All of these things are very important. And at the end of the day, all of these things combined lead to a higher increase in the odds of success. We can tell that Trump and his team are trying to inject crypto into the norm. They're trying to make it a normal thing. They're trying to make it a part of the world. And this that they're doing, this summit, by getting more clarity, getting more education, unifying leaders, it increases the odds that what they're trying to do is successful. And obviously, that's not only just good for crypto in the United States, guys, that's good for crypto as a whole. Because the reality of it is, the US brings some of the most liquidity, it brings some of the most innovation. And these are the two things that crypto moves on, that it needs in order to grow and to accomplish the goal of adoption. And that's why I think this summit is just so dang on important. And so if you're looking at the summit like, oh, this is my opportunity to make a 20% gainer, I think you're missing the big picture. And I think doing that and putting God all in and going 100x leverage right now, you're just setting yourselves up for maybe the chance that crypto might pump. Because can it? Of course it can. Will Bitcoin maybe go to 100K because of some good news? Maybe so, guys. That I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's not the point. The point is this. The point is the bigger picture, because these things are what gets crypto. This is what gets Bitcoin to 250,000 over the long term, 500,000 over the long term. If you want real crypto success, these are the things that get there, not whatever candle we get tomorrow. And I hope you guys understand that. Now, guys, if you do want to see what I am going to be doing tomorrow, I am going to be doing a little bit of buys and some moves with my portfolio. That is available for you down below in the Crypto Strategy School. This is where I post the things that I'm buying, some things that I'm doing, what I'm seeing, what I'm selling, and much more. You can also get a bunch of stuff, guys. Daily analysis, deep dives, pro trade signals. You're going to get workshops, classes, live streams, and much more. And this community has been going absolutely nuts, just printing gains. Over $4 million in profit have now been generated by this community. And the best part is, look, it's not always wins. Sometimes people lose. And when they lose, they talk about what happened and why they lost. So there is so much down there for you. And it does start as little as $5 a month. So head down to the link down below. I opened up 5 more executive tier slots this morning because they're filling up very fast. So feel free to go check that out if that is available and you do want to check that out. And lastly, go follow me on socials. They will be linked down below. I'm going to be updating you a ton over on Instagram and Twitter, especially over the coming days. So go check that out. Pay very close attention. The next 24 hours are going to get crazy, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.